All right, y'all. Brandon Buckingham just dropped. We finna see how his inside Seattle's drug epidemic. But you know what? Like on a casual, like a different note, casually, the one of the top YouTubers like I'm like in tune with is Brandon Buckingham. Like what he's probably like top five in my list. He like I like looking at informative topics, especially like if it comes to like some corrupt areas in like different cities, like Seattle. I don't know what's going on in Seattle. But we finna see how this drug epidemic going on. Let's see, Brandon. Let's see.
Get out of here. Third and Pike.
It's a place where you can get drugs. It's a place where you die.
The epicenter of Seattle, Washington's drug epidemic. The intersection has become infamous for the hundreds of addicts that gather here to buy and use illegal drugs. The storefronts, once vibrant, now stand as hollow shells, overshadowed by the rampant
Probably
addiction and despair.
fentanyl
But
or
it wasn't
something
always
outbreak.
this way. Going back to the 1920s, it was a popular streetcar stop for those that wanted to enjoy the more luxurious side of life,
Well,
as the
that's good.
intersection
Okay,
featured
cool.
an impressive array of upscale
The
shops.
switch up
The
is
first
crazy.
Starbucks was even founded 2 blocks from here in 1971, and the
Imagine if the fans had like
1979
went
opening
back
of
in
the
time
McDonald's
and
was
they
a
were
proudly
there.
celebrated event. Unfortunately, the crack epidemic of the 1980s hit the area hard, and the McDonald's developed a growing reputation as the hangout spot for local drug dealers. In recent
Mm,
years, fentanyl has exploded in popularity with the
fentanyl.
local
That's what I was
residents,
just
resulting
saying.
in more overdoses and violence than ever, as well as a booming open-air market. So come with me as we travel out to Seattle, Washington, and experience firsthand life on 3rd and Pike.
I steal hundreds of dollars worth of groceries.
It's supposed to be one of the
Damn,
richest
bro.
states
You just
around the
gonna say that
country,
out
and we're
loud?
dealing with this.
How would you describe the difficulty of
I mean, he
kicking
probably
opioid
don't
addiction?
care
It's
for real.
impossible.
You're gonna see some grimy shit.
That's Seattle. Drugs.
Yeah,
These
he just
mushrooms make you
talking
feel
about what
better.
the drugs he got right
They
now
increase
already. I
focus
mean,
and
like we just
energy while
did.
keeping you calm and stressed.
Behind me is 3rd and Pike, and we're going to try to speak to some of the people that live here and find out
He's
firsthand
busting
what
out there
life is
too.
like.
They broke into the Ross. No way, dude.
All right, check this out. We just missed it. Some guy ran up here and smashed this window of this Ross Dress for Less, stole some stuff, and ran out. As you can see right here, it's closed. And yeah, this guy tried to bring this big box out here. There's a bunch of merchandise on the ground. We got some Calvin Kleins.
Let's get out of here.
Saw somebody run
No,
out.
seriously, let's get out of here.
Yes, sir. That's crazy. Super poor timing on my part picking up this stolen object right
Yeah,
as
what if
the
he
cop
arrested
walks
him right
out.
then
So
and
who am I
there?
here with?
He thought he
What is
took
life
it
like
and
out here on 3rd and Pike?
Crazy as hell. A lot of drugs, a lot of bullshit, mayhem. A bunch of people walking around like zombies, all fucked up on fentanyl.
How would you describe 3rd and Pike to someone who's never heard about it?
It's a place where you can get drugs. And it's a place where you die. I've seen a lot of things that I shouldn't have seen. Executions and shootings and shit like that.
How long have you been out here?
I mean,
On
if
and
you think
off for
about it,
about,
like
like,
if you
the
got a
last,
big
I
drug
wanna say, like,
epidemic, you're gonna
8
see a lot
years.
of
Can
crime,
you tell us
a
what
lot of
happened to your
deaths,
leg?
Xylazine happened.
gang violence, all
Trank
types.
being a horse tranquilizer that, you know what I'm saying, eats through this tissue.
So it's suffering from necrosis right now?
Yeah,
Hold on, what do you do?
highly. Here, I'll show you. You know what I'm saying, eats happened. Trank being a horse tranquilizer that, you know what I'm saying, eats through this tissue.
So it's suffering from necrosis right now?
Yeah, highly. Here, I'll show you.
Oh my gosh. How long has it been like that?
It's probably been like that for about like on and off for like the last 2 years. Including on this leg
What do you
too.
do for something like that? He
Both
probably don't have the
legs.
bread or
and
insurance to get
also
it though.
it's spread to my pancreas.
Are you still using xylazine?
No, I bought that stuff by mistake off of somebody that I didn't know or trust. I scratched my leg one time and that's all it took. Next day, I had a
Hey,
lesion-like
never
wound.
take something from
Really
somebody
wants to be
you
in this
don't know
fucking hellhole as you can hear.
or
This place
trust,
fucking sucks.
especially if you don't trust them.
Yeah, tell me about life out here.
Life down here is normal, you know, it's easy to do, and I just go touch
He
it.
might tweak out.
Could you tell me a little bit about life out here on 3rd and Pike?
It's crap. It's exactly what you see. It's garbage. It's dope. It's hoes. It's people who don't care about themselves, much less anybody else. It's shit like that.
Does Brandon
People
got
out here trying to
security?
sell just to
He
live.
just
We're getting
popping in.
harassed for it.
Do you feel like there's some misconceptions about the homeless population?
Absolutely. But then again, look at this place. These people act like their 2-year-old children don't know how to pick up after themselves.
It's like disgustingly filthy and dirty. If I were to fly in from any other state and see this as a downtown, I'd be fucking repulsed. You know, nowhere else is this fucking trash.
How
Every
big
single
is
person
Seattle
saying right
though?
now is an adult. Adults should be
Like
able to clean up after
usually
themselves.
Just a few years ago, if you came
there's
here, you
like
would
the
see
air is just
orange needles
the
littered
ghetto,
all around
whatever
the
it is,
street,
whatever you
right?
want to
A
call the
couple years ago,
project,
it was heroin that was the main drug
and
out
where
here,
they
and
do like the
you would see
drugs and
needles
whatnot.
scattered
And then
everywhere,
there's
like
like a
everywhere you
downtown
go.
here
I
where
mean,
it's like a
playgrounds, everything.
whole
There'd be
switch up.
needles everywhere, all over the city. Far and few between people who still shoot up out here, but I mean, you'll see it occasionally. But if you call a number, they'll come and pull up on you and give you needles, give you whatever you need.
So they have mobile needle delivery
Mm,
service.
Yeah, they do. It's a like a needle exchange, harm reduction, and then they have harm reduction places where you can go and give your needles. You exchange them one for brand new needles. But a lot of the time, even if you don't have needles, they'll just give you boxes of them. It's crazy.
How does it make you feel when you see
damn, they
people
just
like
give out
this
needles.
gentleman who's on the ground, just balled up and
I
crippled
mean,
with drug addiction?
I guess it's tough to like
Uncomfortable. I mean,
stop for real, so they're
I don't
trying
like
to
to see it, but I mean, I guess being
limit
out here
like
is a part of life. You
deaths, I
know, you can
guess.
lead a horse
But
to water, but you can't make them drink. Like you can't get these people sober if they don't want to get sober themselves. You know.
So there's
facts.
essentially nothing you can do unless they want.
That's definitely like the hardest part about like a drug addict. I don't know if y'all like actually knew a drug addict or met one, but or not even that. Like if you're addicted to something in general, like you see people all the time. Every time they wake up, they go to get a coffee, and for them, you tell somebody to stop drinking coffee, it's gonna they're like, what? You crazy? And then if they once they stop, they're gonna go on like a little trend, like damn, they starting to feel cold or some feel different, and then they're gonna have to go back into drinking coffee or whatever. I mean, addiction is addiction. So you addicted to something. It's not easy. I don't care what nobody says. I don't do nothing. So like I stay away from anything, drinking, smoking, whatever it is, because of that. Because once you addicted, it's just you might as well not even take the risk. Like it's tough to get off that, bro.
Want something to be
Especially
done.
Yeah,
fentanyl.
100%. If you don't want to get sober for yourself, you're probably not gonna get sober. You can get a dose of
I
fentanyl
can't
for a
imagine how
buck.
tough
You
that
know.
is to get away from.
That's super crazy. How
Especially when
cheap
you
was
in that
heroin?
state.
I wouldn't say cheap, but it was like $10 for a point, or like 60 to 80 a gram. A fentanyl pill's a lot stronger than like a point of heroin, so
Hmm.
when the fentanyl pills came out, they took over.
How bad is the fentanyl addiction?
You see a lot of these people, like they'll be going crazy, crying, and like just begging people to get them high. And you know, like I used to be an opiate addict, and like the opiate withdrawals are horrible.
For someone who doesn't know what
That
it's like,
withdrawal, that's what I
how
was
is the
talking about.
experience of going through a fentanyl
Dang.
withdrawal?
It's like the flu times like 5. It's horrible. It's like the worst flu you've ever had in your life. It takes days, and so a lot of these people don't want to go through withdrawal, so they
Hmm.
keep doing it. You know.
Seattle used to be so much more than this, and now it's
Yeah,
this. And
that's
it's so sad.
What do you think the cause of Seattle getting so much worse is?
An attitude of acceptance. You know what I'm saying? The laws are changing, and they're being more. They're easier on people, and I know like that. Nobody wants to hear me say that, but when you have people shooting up and smoking and all that on the street and shit, I've done it. I do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna. And I can't knock it, but I
Hmm.
do because I know better. And if I'm going to do that, I should be in the house doing it. I just don't have a house anymore, so where am I going to do it at?
Seattle's definitely not doing what they're supposed to. There's a lot of homelessness, and like they're really not doing shit about it. Like as you can see, like the block is fucking crazy out here right now, and
Yeah,
the
it don't
cops
look
really
like
aren't
it.
doing
They
much. They
busting
really
out there.
can't do much.
And they
Seattle
giving out
is
free
like
needles for
down
'em.
a ton on cops right now, so I
Hold
mean they're
on.
not
Whoa,
they're
whoa,
not
whoa,
doing
whoa,
even a
whoa. That
quarter
was
of
too
what they
fast,
should. Really,
Brandon. That
a
was
lot
too
of
fast. Hold on.
doing much. They really can't do much. Seattle is like down a
Okay, Seattle Police Department reaches lowest staffing level in 30 years. Damn. More than 700 police officers left the Seattle Police Department in the past 5 years. The department is now at its lowest staffing level.
ton on cops right now, so
I
I
mean,
mean
I
they're
get
not
people don't
they're
want to
not
work
doing
there.
even a quarter of what they should. Really, a lot of theft and boosting. They grab shit from stores, shoplift, and then come out here and sell it. There's a bunch of fences out here, which is who you sell.
Person who buys stolen goods from thieves. Damn, they super corrupt. Like, not corrupt, but like damn near a purge for real. I mean, I can understand why there's such a low, like, police force because why sit there and take the risk of living in this type of area where people ain't even scared of police? Like the people that are addicts, they they willing to get high, whatever means possible. They do not care. So if that pertains to like violence, murder, whatever it is, I take the risk living there. You know, I wouldn't risk it. I might as well move to a different state and then be a police officer there and be way more mellow. That's crazy. Oh, it's not a fencer. I never. Mm. People middleman in drugs, bro.
stolen shit too,
I
and
mean,
then
not
they
drugs,
end up buying dope
stolen
straight on the
property.
block.
Where do all these people sleep at night?
A lot of them just walk around here all night long, and that's all they be doing is just walking around, and like they don't really have a place to go. And then the other people, they either have tents or like they have somewhere to go, a friend's house, a tent, tiny home, whatever, you know.
I think Seattle's doing a great job. They got bombarded with a lot of people. The housing part is kind of iffy to me. You know, I've realized that there's a lot of housing available, but they're not being utilized for some reason. And there's a lot of buildings that are going up that are being torn down and rebuilt. There's enough units for whoever's left out here anyway, for them to have at least 2 units to themselves.
For those who don't know, Seattle offers its homeless population housing programs such as Urban League and DESE, a
Whoa,
program
whoa,
that aims to
damn,
end
Brandon,
homelessness,
you are
such as
flying
Urban
through. Hold on, let's catch it.
To themselves.
For those who
Let's
don't know,
catch it. Let's
Seattle
catch it.
offers
Let's
its
catch
homeless
it.
population housing programs.
Young adult shelter and youth drop-in center. The Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle now operates a 24-hour young adult shelter that also serves as a youth drop-in center during the day. I mean, well, most of the, from what I'm seeing visibly, most of that population is not like young adults. They're mostly like older, unless unless they are, and from that fentanyl and being a drug addict, it does make you look a little older, make you skinnier and stuff like that because you're not eating, you're just getting high.
Such as Urban League
So
and
yeah, that I could
DESE,
be
a
wrong.
program that aims to end homelessness and assist by placing people in emergency housing sites. You were saying that you've been homeless before, right?
Yeah, I've been homeless for like a couple years, had a stint of homelessness.
And how difficult is it to get housing here in Seattle?
If you don't have any resources, it's really difficult to get housing. Especially a lot of people out here, like they get their shit stolen, they lose their ID, all that kind of stuff. The city gives people like free apartments or will house people for a extended amount of time, but that's like difficult. It takes years to get into. Either A, they just
Hmm.
tell you to call back later, or they really don't help you at all. I mean, like it's super difficult. It took me a couple years to get off the streets. I mean, a lot of these people have been out here for 6, 7, 8 years and still can't get housing. And then like they have a bunch of shelters, and the shelters are always either full or like they have bed bugs and like lice and all sorts of crazy shit that you don't want to
Yeah.
get.
I mean, there's lots of housing they give out. There's places where they could shower and shit and all that stuff instead of the alleyways.
They're called harm reduction, and so they give you supplies so that you can safely use. But that creates a drug culture. So if you're trying to get clean, then that like they have funding to do like amazing things, and they just don't. And you have those. They don't respect anything anybody else is trying to do. So I'm sorry about your background, but that bitch is a mess. So
This is ridiculous. There's many times I've cleaned up, just a whole corner, just because I'm sick of looking at it and being in it, because the people you see out here, you know what I mean? Everyone's just like hunched over, and it's like fucking walking through Monsters Inc. It's crazy.
What are the people like out here?
Assholes and scandalous. Be very careful the things you hold in your possessions, because they'll be gone in 3 seconds if you don't watch them closely.
What originally brought you down to Third and Pike?
Shit,
I don't
she better
know.
watch her stuff,
People
bro.
like me, kind of, wanderers, nomads.
How long have you been out here?
I've been out here since my daughter died. So she died in October 11th, 2021. So I've been out here since she died. That's about it.
I'm sorry to hear
She's
that.
okay. Mm.
That's okay.
Dang.
Death
And
is
then
not an
again, you
option.
can't blame people for being
Town
homeless
center
because you
out.
don't know what background they went through. Like she just had a daughter die, so she's probably going through something. But you can't just knock them for choosing to be homeless or whatnot, or choosing to take up drugs and then become homeless. There's steps to it, but I mean, if they just need like proper help for it. But I mean, it's tough to get help in like if you're in Seattle because you're seeing all this fentanyl, there's probably a hella drugs everywhere, and it's probably easy access for it. So, and then once you're addicted, and you ain't going back for real, unless like you
Whoa.
said, go through that withdrawal.
What happened?
They shot Orbeez at us. Someone just drove by and shot us with Orbeez.
Yeah, see, they do cynical shit like that. Yesterday, I got threatened to be shot in the eyeball and in the face.
How did you initially wind up homeless?
I ended up losing my job. I was a caregiver. That's my career. I got my CNA.
What's some of the stuff you have to go through living out here?
A lot of abuse. I didn't have it hard compared to a lot of other people that have been abused in many awful ways by their parents, by their family members. Yeah. Interviewing. If I can get into a car right now and run, I would run away.
Is there a lot of violence out
See,
here?
that's the thing. People like that, there are people like they. A lot of times when people walk around and they see people that are homeless or like drug addicts, they just say, "Oh, they don't have any hope. Don't talk to them. Stay away from them. Don't even acknowledge them." But some people have hope. I consider some people having hope, depending on your background, how you got there. Like you have the drug addicts that are like mute, they don't talk, you can't even communicate with them. Then you have the ones that are just criminals. They're like they were saying, the one that are stealing, breaking in places, they don't care. I saw a story about somebody taking up a homeless person, bringing them to their house. There was a rich couple, whatever, giving them bed, clothes, changing clothes, whatever it was. So when they went to sleep, he ended up waking up and then stealing everything from them and killing the couple. That's one thing is you don't know of any of their backgrounds of what's going on there. But then on the opposite side of that, you have people that have potential. Like she has her whole CNA. She was CNA. She was a nurse, no, a caregiver. But she has potential to, if she were to go through the withdrawal, someone took her out, helped her out, maybe offer her a job or help her get another job as a CNA, she'll be straight. There's there's you don't know the person you're talking to unless you actually like break it down with them. Like this girl right here, she seemed cool, but I'm glad he asked the question, "How did you become homeless in the first place?" I mean, you never know. In offset, she could be lying. She could just be saying she's got a CNA or whatever like that. But um, you never know. You never know. But if she's telling the truth, she definitely has potential for sure
Oh yeah, you have other people that just beat
to
up
get back on
on
her
other
feet.
weaker people and take their stuff, and yeah, it's very violent. It's a very violent culture. When people are out here stealing from each other, it can become a violent situation.
It's constant, rampant. People get stabbed, people get shot all the time. It's craziness.
The McDonald's on 3rd Street, right near Pike, has been a hotspot for criminal activity and violence. In 2015,
Is
a
it closed
large-scale
down?
drug bust swept through the area and 95 people were arrested. But
Oh, dang, Brandon. Brandon is flying through these.
a large-scale
I
drug
am
bust
trying
swept
to
through the
read it. 95 arrested Seattle cops target downtown open air drug market.
area and 95 people were
Nearly 100 suspected drug dealers and thieves have been arrested following a 4-month law enforcement investigation focusing on the area around 3rd Avenue and Pine Street in Seattle, downtown Seattle. Oh, this is downtown Seattle. Okay. Well, of course,
arrested, but it did little to quell the
they're
drug
gonna be
addiction that
busting
plagued the streets.
downtown.
On January 22nd, 2020, 8 people were shot outside this McDonald's, one of which was pronounced dead at the scene. Would you say this is one of the most dangerous areas in Seattle?
Yeah, that and I'd say Chinatown, like about like 12th and Jackson, probably
Yeah.
like one of the most dangerous areas.
Next, we make our way to 12th Avenue and South Jackson Street, 10 blocks south of
He
Pike
goes
Street,
to the most
roughly a
dangerous
half-mile
area.
away. So just a short drive away from 3rd and Pike is 12th and Jackson, right? And you said that, what goes on out here?
This is like the notorious like selling area for stolen merchandise, like fencing.
How much of a discount can you get items if you purchase them out here?
I mean, it depends on what you're getting, but like really, really cheap. Like for instance, like clothing, you can get like nice clothing that's like probably $50 in the store for like $5 out here.
A lot of these people just go into a store and just grab stuff and leave.
Yeah, they do what's called guerrilla
They were
boosting,
just
which is
trying
where
to
you go into a store, you just
break in just
openly
now.
grab merchandise and leave.
Boosting or retail theft has caused several local businesses to move out of the area affected by the rampant thefts. It's very common, as we just saw at the Ross Dress for Less. As you can see right behind us, smash and grabs are not very uncommon, and one just happened.
People that stole a bunch of shit from Ross, we just missed it, I guess.
Yeah, they're returning
Like I was
this
saying in the car, smash and grab.
common, as we just saw at the Ross Dress for Less.
What in the world just happened?
As you can see right behind us, smash and grabs are not very
Bruh, hold on, Brandon.
Grab robberies are common out here.
Bingo.
Yeah, so a lot of these stores are uncommon, and one just happened. Stores have closed down. For instance, you said the McDonald's up there.
Yeah, you can't go inside the McDonald's. The Macy's closed down because people were doing the same thing, smashing and grabbing a bunch of coats. A lot of the time, if they don't have private security, they won't do anything and they won't stop you. Most of the stores don't want confrontation. They don't want that bullshit.
Oh.
So.
Fuck the rich people that are mad that I wear more expensive shit than they do. I get it cheaper than they do.
Shit start getting wild, man. It start, that Fetty
What in the world
start
just
hitting,
happened?
man. These streets
Man,
start getting a little more
there
wicked,
it
man.
is.
And Fetty's like turning into new crack.
Hold on. We gotta play this back, y'all. We gotta
Attorney
Like
see
I was
what's
saying in
going
the car,
on.
smash and grab robberies are common out here.
Yeah. So a lot of these stores have closed down. For instance, you said the McDonald's up there.
Yeah, you can't go inside the McDonald's. The Macy's closed down because people are doing the same thing, smashing and grabbing a bunch of coats. A lot of the time, if they don't have private security, they won't do anything and they won't stop you. Most of the stores don't want confrontation. They don't want that bullshit. So
Fuck them rich people that are mad that I wear more expensive shit than they do. I get it cheaper than they do.
Shit start getting wild, man. It start, that Fetty start hitting, man.
Ah,
These streets start getting a little more wicked, man. And Fetty's like turning into new cracks.
Cold at nighttime. There's not a lot of bathrooms to use. There's a girl, which is gross.
But it be crazy out here. Like most people like be smoking all day long. Like it's like this until the cops come. People start moving around like cattle.
We're getting money, we're getting paid, we're getting laid every day. I don't have to put up with all the rules of society and all their bullshit. I ain't got to pay taxes to some government that's gonna kill my kids with the money I give them. Pretty well free to do what I want to do until the cops come and tell us I gotta push it down the street. All the kids that disappear, only people that can make them disappear without a problem is police officers. Look into that a little bit more, Mr. and Mrs. Taxpayer.
Could you tell me a little bit about life out here?
Amazing. The atmosphere is awesome. I moved out here because weed was legal and things like that. I want to be
okay,
homeless,
but is he homeless?
You want to be?
Yeah, I like it.
What are some of the benefits of being homeless from your perspective?
I don't have to answer to nobody. So wake up whenever, go to bed whenever.
How long have you been homeless for?
I've been homeless for going on 6 years.
What did you do before you were homeless?
I worked at a shipyard for 14 years on the East Coast.
Tell me a little bit about life out
I
here.
mean, then again, you got people
You're gonna
that
get snaked.
it's a choice. Like some people choose to be homeless to be alone.
You're gonna have, friends that you think are close to you. You know what I'm saying? People that you think are close to you.
And this bad boy lagging.
Turn
Come
their
on,
back on
Brandon.
you, and you're gonna see the real underbelly of the world. Homie just got shot fucking the other day, and another. In that shooting, someone died. And it's like,
Damn. I wonder
That's
what
some
they
shit that
call for
happens
like
all the
medical
time.
assistance
How
in
many times
Seattle.
did you get shot?
I got shot at one time. It went in and it went out. And it's being wrong place, wrong time.
How long ago was that?
It was like
For
2 days
real.
ago, and it was on my. And today is my birthday. That's the crazy thing.
Today's your birthday?
Yes, I almost not made it to my own birthday. That's the irony.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
I feel like the Seattle government is doing a good job of helping homeless people find housing.
Outreach workers who don't do very much outreach for me, being I'm homeless, if I miss an appointment or something, they get upset with me, or they don't do their fair share, I think, of reaching out. Like, right now I'm homeless, I don't have a phone, can't keep a cell phone because I fall asleep outside, and they get stolen. Can't catch up with her, she can't catch up with me, and she's in court a lot, so...
Homelessness has been an ongoing historical issue in Seattle, the problem being documented as far back as 1850. In 2020, the city of Seattle allocated $80 million for the Division of Homeless Strategy and Investment. However, the cost of medical, police, and all nonprofit governmental efforts has cost much more than this across the region.
as far as the government, you guys know, the government don't care about nobody.
What do you think could be done to clean up an area like 3rd and Pike that has
I mean,
been the way it is on and
look,
off for over
just
40
because they
years?
They
passed
give
a
us
law
housing, and it really,
doesn't
it
mean
really
that
didn't
somebody cares, bro.
do much. It's still out there,
They gave everybody out there housing?
pretty much. I mean, the people that really wanted it. I mean, you want me to be honest about it?
Yeah.
The motherfuckers that didn't get housing didn't want housing. They're supposed to be in one spot. You weren't in one spot. Come on, man.
So you feel like someone that's homeless right now in downtown Seattle has the option to be housed?
Yeah.
And it's a decision for them to be out in the streets for the most part? That's probably surprising to some people.
Well, it's the truth. And I really put the time in to really like follow in what they asked me to do, and that's how I got my housing, my hotel, and then I got into my apartment that I'm in now.
What is the housing like that you received?
I stay in a DESC building, and I wanted to quit doing drugs, but you can't put somebody who wants to quit doing drugs in a DESC building.
Why is that too much temptation?
Everybody there does drugs. Everybody there is crazy. Everybody's just a piece of outside world in an apartment building, pretty much.
It's like a chaos environment. How long have you been out here?
I've been on the streets for 10 years. I just got an apartment last August. So I've been indoors for about almost a year.
You have to pay anything for it?
30% of income.
Do you like that whole situation, or is there something that you think Seattle could be doing differently?
No, they're doing right for the housing, It just takes forever. If you're a single white male,
What did that one dude say? He said
it's going to
it
take
takes a couple
years
years just to get
into
approved for
a
it.
place.
Well, you're going to be last on the list?
Yeah.
Now, the tiny house used to be cool. Like, you go up and, like, if you didn't have anything to eat, they give you fucking a warm meal.
We always get judged by people driving by, people that have homes. They always want to judge us. and they pretended to give us homes, but all that money that they invested, not a single person has been given a home. They said, oh, we will send you, we will call you. How you don't want to call me? How you don't want to find me when I'm over here? You need to come over here and